Okay, Randall, my name's Mike Cork. I'm with Ultimate Bass. My first question is, you're a shallow water specialist. I've watched you fishing all over the place, from the Red River, Gunnersville, different places. You do really well in shallow water. Conroe's kind of a shallow water fishery. Do you think you're going to be able to excel with that? Is that going to play into your skill levels?
Without a doubt. I think this venue is very unique for a classic venue for that reason. I mean, we got fish really in all three phases of the spawn right now. I think of all 52 guys here, I think they could all fish their strength no matter what it is. An offshore guy, there's fish offshore. I'm a shallow water guy. There's a lot of big ones swimming around up there, so obviously I'm going to try to exploit that with what I'm best at.
Right. With the and that takes me into my next question. With the wind that you're going to experience tomorrow, the springtime pollen, and then the flotillas on such a small lake, everybody's going to have 100 boats following them. That's got to play into your game plan. You got to work around some of that, don't you?
Yeah, this tournament is unique in the fact that our gallery's on the water bigger than any other event. Like it's at a regular elite event, I hardly fish a day of practice without somebody following me. But this tournament, when you get up there into the 20s, 30s, even 120 boats following you, it definitely affects every move you make, and you can't plan for that. I mean, you know it's going to happen, but you don't know how it's going to affect what you're doing. It's unfortunate, but it will affect the outcome of this tournament. And as a competitor, I just want it to be a level playing field. And unfortunately, the bigger the on-the-water galleries get, the more unlevel playing field that we have out there.
Especially somebody like you is going to have more people than, say,
that's right.
Justin Lucas.
Yes, like a KVD or Mike Iaconelli have to deal with things that a Randall Tharp doesn't have to deal with. And likewise, I have to deal with things that a Federation angler is not going to have to deal with. This is a tournament that I feel I've led this event, had a really good opportunity to win this event. I want to be 12th place, 6th place, but within reach. I don't want to lead it. I don't want that attention.
Just for the flotilla type people following you around?
Just so I can go out. It's hard enough to do our job out there on the water at an event like this. But with all the other stuff that happens at this tournament, I definitely feel, if you look at the history, there's a lot of times it's very rarely led from start to finish by the same guy.
Right.
So I mean, I'd like to be within striking distance and then catch the biggest stringer on the final day to win. That's the game plan if there is one.
It takes a little pressure off at that too. I mean, being the leader, did you have more pressure on you, do you feel, at that point? Got to catch him, or is it better to have a number to shoot for? I know he's got this, I've got to beat that, let me fill my line up.
Yeah, I've never had a problem from the pressure of leading an event. I don't really feel a whole lot of pressure on the water. As good as I would like to think that I am, I don't know what a fish is thinking, and I cannot make one bite. I just go out there and try to have a good time. And if I fish a style, a way that I love to fish, generally good things happen for me. And that's what I plan on doing this week. I'm just going to go enjoy the fact that I'm here. I'm going to go try to catch the biggest fish that I can catch, and take it one bite at a time. I mean, I'll probably even win this event without catching 5 fish a day. I mean, because this place has got enough big fish that, you could, you might have a bad day where you only get 4 bites, but if they're all 7 and 8 pounders, you're right where you need to be. So I just take it one bite at a time and do what I do.
So is that alluding to your strategy, as you're looking for the big heads? I mean, or are you going to go out and catch 5, get them in the box, and then go looking for big heads?
Oh, no, I never go fish for 5. I fish for 1 fish at a time. I try to catch a big fish. And, hopefully, by the end of the day, by 3 o'clock when we're due in, I have 5 in the box. But it's not, you can't catch 5 fish in one cast. We can only catch 1 at a time. So I just take it 1 at a time. And, I'm not going to throw back a keeper, but I'm out there hunting big fish, yes.
Okay. Now, is that a classic strategy, or is that how you fish?
That's pretty much how I fish all the time. That's why I love tournament fishing. With the boats and engines and all the stuff we got, anybody can go catch bass. There's an art to tournament fishing, and there's an art to catching the biggest fish that swim in a lake, and that's what I think all the great fishermen have, and that's a lot of times the guy that wins the event is definitely not the guy that catches the most. I mean, I have a really good day, most of the time if I get a dozen bites or so. if I get a dozen bites, chances are I'm on 5 big ones in the live well at the end of the day, the way that I like to fish. I fish lures and I fish techniques that don't lend themselves to catching 40 or 50. Like, I don't pull a shaky head out trying to catch 100 bass a day. I don't care about that.
Right.
At the end of the day, they don't really, as long as there's 5 in that box, you don't know if I caught 100 or if I just caught 5.
Right.
As long as I got 5.
I'd much rather have the 5 big bites than catch 100 and try and call up or do whatever. But I'm a local fisherman, so I've learned something. This lake's full of docks. You're a shallow water fisherman. You like docks? Love docks? Do you hate docks?
I actually, I cut my teeth on Gunnersville, which is a grass lake, and I despised fishing docks on that lake. Since I've, been making a living 9 years out here now, I actually love fishing docks now because I found out very early in my career it's a very easy way to put fish in the boat, no matter where I go. If there's a dock in a lake, it's going to hold a fish. And this lake has got a bunch of docks. The tournaments I fished here in the past, I keyed on docks. And docks will definitely play a factor in this tournament. There's no doubt about it. There's half of this lake just covered with docks.
Right. And on that, obviously not every dock is the best dock. I don't know the lake. I've been told it's kind of a bowl contour, so there's not really creek channel swinging against a series of docks. How do you determine which docks you're going to try or fish or look at?
Well, I mean, we're here. There's spawning going on. There's post-spawn, there's some pre-spawn, but I think the majority of the fish are in that really close to the spawning phase. So to me, spawning areas are very easy to locate. So a spawning area with docks would be a good place to start.
Gotcha. Okay. And on that, you've already talked about the spawning, but what kind of water temperatures, water levels, water colors are you seeing?
I wouldn't call any of the water in Conroe right now clear. I have seen some fish on beds in certain parts of the lake. I would call it stained, and the further up the lake you go, to me, it seems like it gets a little dirty. I wouldn't call it muddy. It's just a tannic looking, orangey looking color that I think is very unique to Conroe. I haven't seen that color water very many places, but there is a watercolor that I'm particularly keying on that I like, that I've had all my big bites in, and
hopefully we can talk about that in a couple of days.
Yeah, it's just a certain section of the lake I think's got what I like. So
now, overall water temperatures, just a generic.
I've seen 67 to 72.
Okay. And is it full? I mean, the lake?
Full.
Okay.